Right, good morning everyone. So in today's class we shall deal with the topic of snooping TCP. Okay. So in the previous class we have started with indirect TCP, that is the first topic of fourth unit. So what we have done in indirect TCP is there rather than maintaining end-to-end semantics, we are going to divide the connection into two parts. One is with respect to wired and second one is with respect to wireless. Right. So where the feature of TCP, that is end-to-end semantic, is not maintained. Okay. So, and at the same time the retransmission is done by the foreign agent itself. Okay, that means the buffering is taking place at the foreign agent. So based on that some rectifications are done, and that concept is snooping TCP. So the main thing in snooping TCP is, so in order for communication we need to have two nodes. One is we are regarding as a mobile host and second one is we are taking it as a correspondent host. And in between these two things we have a node called as a foreign agent. This is nothing but an access point which has the ability to transfer packets in between mobile host and correspondent host. Right? Before getting into the topic, just we shall know what is snooping. So snooping means literally it's a observing. Snooping means observing. Right? So why are these observing and everything is done? Because previously in indirect TCP we do have a concept of retransmission. There we don't have any retransmission, and there is a concept of handovers, right? So rather than making everything with the correspondent host for communication or else for the mobile host for communication, we are introducing a concept called foreign agent for local retransmission. So why this is done? What is the concept behind this is, so for communication we need to have two nodes, one is mobile host and second one is correspondent host. If we want to transfer the data in between these two things, so here in between wireless host and foreign agent we have wireless connection, and between these two things we have a wired internet, that is nothing but a LAN cables. Okay. Now imagine that this CH wants to send data to MH, that means from correspondent host to the mobile host. So initially what does it do is, this correspondent host will transfer some data into the internet and this will be reached by the foreign agent. Okay. So what happens is, this foreign agent is going to buffer the data. Okay. So buffering means, that means caching, that means storing the data, right? So here whatever the data is sent by the correspondent host, it is being stored at the foreign agent. Okay. So after storing at the foreign agent, this is so what happens is, it will not store, simply while data is being transferring from correspondent host to the mobile host, it is going to store a copy of data and the data is normally transferred to the mobile host. Okay. So if this is going to happen, for TCP being a reliable connection, the other host needs to send acknowledgement. So what does this mobile host needs to do? It needs to send acknowledgements to the correspondent host. That means here data is being passed and in other direction from mobile host to the correspondent host, we are going to send the acknowledgement. Okay. So while this process is being taking place, the foreign agent is going to identify whether the data is being transferred or not, and at the same time it is going to snoop the acknowledgement. That means it is going to observe the acknowledgements that is present in the network. Why this is happening? Because if there is any packet loss in the network, immediately it needs to verify in order to maintain the concept of TCP. That means in order to maintain the reliability, it needs to specify, it needs to check the acknowledgements. So for every packet, for first packet the sequence number is 1 and for second packet some sequence number is 2, like this. So and at the same time it is going to send the acknowledgement as 2. That means packet 1 has successfully received and it is going to expect a packet sequence number with 2. So but this foreign agent is going to snoop the acknowledgements in the, that means observe the acknowledgements that is passing through the stream. So if this happens, so meanwhile what happens is, acknowledgement 3. Now packet 2 has been sent and acknowledgement 3 needs to be sent from mobile host to the correspondent host. So what happens is this packet 2 has been somewhere lost in the network. Okay. So what happens? It has copied the data and here in somewhere, some part, it has lost the data due to some network crash or some traffic. So what happens immediately? Rather than sending entire thing from correspondent host for fast retransmission and fast recovery of data, this foreign agent is going to retransmit. That means local retransmission is done. This retransmission is taken care by the foreign agent. So here we are going to choose a foreign agent such that this foreign agent is very nearer to this mobile host. Okay. So by using this concept, we are going to maintain the concept of transparency. Okay. This is the main thing in snooping TCP. Okay. So in indirect TCP we have two connections, but in snooping TCP we do have only one thing. It is going to maintain end-to-end semantics, and at the same time this is just storing a copy of data, but the local retransmission is done from foreign agent to the mobile host. Okay. So this is a scenario of snooping TCP. Okay. So let us now see what is the packet format for these things. So see here, if a packet is transmitted in the network, so this is a correspondent node and this is a foreign agent and this is a MN, as we have seen here. Mobile node, correspondent node and foreign agent. And next thing is, so now CN wants to transmit data to the MN. So what happens? It will send a packet that is stored at foreign agent, and this packet is also received by the MN node. So if the packet is successfully received, what does this MN do? MN needs to send the acknowledgement. This acknowledgement will be observed by foreign agent. Okay, and now, so this is a successful transmission. So if there is some network crash or some traffic in the network, so what happens? So it has sent some data, and after foreign agent, this data has been lost in the network. So what happens? Immediately within certain timeout period, or this foreign agent doesn't get any acknowledgement. That means in the timeout period, it needs to resend the packet. This is how the local retransmission is done from foreign agent to the mobile node. So whenever it sends the acknowledgement, it is automatically sent from mobile node to the correspondent node, and again it is going to transmit the data. So this is a scenario where there is only single packet of data transfer. So what happens if there is a cumulative data transfer? So what is meant by cumulative? Single packet means if we send a packet 1, we are going to get acknowledgement 2. If we send a packet 2, we are going to get acknowledgement 3. These numbers are indicated as a sequence number. It is not mandatory that it starts with 1 or 2 or something. It can start with any number. Okay. So cumulative acknowledgement means if a sender has sent S1, S2 and S3, and it is going to get an acknowledgement of 4. That means till now 3 packets are received by some particular receiver, and I am expecting a packet number 4. Okay, that is called as a cumulative packets. So what happens in the case of this cumulative TCP? So see here, this MN has transmitted 2 packets to CN. So this FA is also going to store this packet, and this is going to give the acknowledgement. This is packet 1 and this is packet 2, and this is going to get the acknowledgement 3. Okay. Now here 4th packet has been sent and 5th packet has also been sent, and these are successfully transmitted. And while transmitting the data, what happens? So it has transmitted packet number 6 here. So did it reach the destination? No, right? So immediately again it has transmitted packet number 7. So now what does this foreign agent says? Till now I did not get the acknowledgement of 6, and it has already transmitted 7. So that means there is a gap in the network. So by seeing this gap, it is going to identify that some packet has been lost in the network without reaching to me also. So that is why it is going to send a negative acknowledgement with the packet number 6. So what does this indicate? So here the recovery will be done in a very faster way. So now MN can identify that this packet has been lost in the network, and now I need to retransmit that packet as early as possible. Now it is going to retransmit the packet number 6. Okay. So after so here what are the packets we got? 4, 5 and 6, 7. So what is the cumulative acknowledgement it needs to give? It needs to give 8. So how this is going to detect this gap is by using the slow start mechanism. Okay. So already we have discussed this in the previous class. So this is it is going to detect the gap by using this slow start mechanism as well as the cumulative acknowledgements. Okay. So this is how the packet transfer is being done in snooping TCP. And coming to the advantages of snooping TCP, as there is no, there is end-to-end semantic. How we are saying that is, in TCP we are going to maintain the connection into two things. One is wireless and second one is wired TCP. So here there is no concept of these two connections. So that is why we are going to call this snooping TCP. There is a end-to-end semantic. Okay. And the next one is if there are any enhancements to be done. So we are not going to do enhancements on a mobile host or else to the correspondent host. We are going to do the enhancements only on the foreign agent. Okay. So these are the two advantages. And next coming to the disadvantages of snooping TCP. So the disadvantages of snooping TCP are it does not isolate the transmission errors. That means so in case of cumulative acknowledgements, we have seen that if there are any gaps in the network that in the initial stage itself, that will be forwarded to the MN, and at the same time it can also be known by the corresponding host. That means if there are any bit error rates or else some transmission errors, those are reached to either to sender, other node also. Okay. And next one is using negative acknowledgements requires additional mechanisms. So there we have, if the gap is detected, we are going to use this negative acknowledgements. So if there is only one positive acknowledgement case, certain softwares are enough. But if some negative acknowledgements or duplicative acknowledgements are needed, it needs to have certain additional mechanisms. And third one is it has a security. So why the concept of security is a drawback here is in our upper layers of transport we do have SSH or TLS, that means transport layer security. If the encryption is done with end to end, there might, if a local retransmission is done, there might be a chance of thinking that it is a replay attack. So what is meant by replay attack? Sending of data one again and again is called a replay attack. So this is a basic common security attack in networks. So if the data is being sent or locally retransmitted into the network, what happens is there might be a chance of thinking that the replay attack has been done in the network. Okay. So this is why we are treating this as one of the disadvantage because encryption is not much convinced. Okay. So this is about the snooping TCP. And next coming to mobile TCP. The one more classical improvement that is made for TCP is mobile TCP. So we have three things. One is indirect TCP, snooping TCP and mobile TCP. So why we are getting into this mobile TCP? So why? Because so in indirect TCP there is no end-to-end semantic. Okay, and in snooping TCP it needs to check the acknowledgements for every moment and it needs to observe the network all the time. Okay, so what happens if a mobile goes to the disconnected state? does the sender needs to retransmit the data or send the data continuously even though the mobile host is not in a connected state. So what we need to do, right? That is the scenario with respect to this mobile TCP. So the main objective of mobile TCP is to overall the throughput and lower delay. These are the two main things that is the objective of mobile TCP. The two main things for the objective of mobile TCP is overall throughput and it needs to lower the delay. Okay. So these are the two drawbacks in ITCP and stripping TCP, and why we are getting into the concept of mobile TCP is if the mobile gets into the disconnected state, what happens? What it needs to do? It is taken care by mobile TCP as these concepts are not dealt in these two topics. Okay. So let us now discuss a mobile TCP mechanism.